ago when we had the rally further up the road. My burden is, what do Palestinians want of us? We should be listening to them and advocating for them. What do they want in Gaza? They want to live. They want an end to genocide. We know that. But do they want a return to the status quo? No. They want independence. They want sovereignty. They want freedom. The basic human rights we take for granted. They want the same. And they have those rights enshrined in international law. They want justice, liberty, equality, and the right to self-determination. And they want an end to Western indifference and complicity. So let's continue, as we've been told already, to lobby our politicians for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire, to demand the UN and humanitarian agents be allowed unhindered access to provide sufficient supplies of food, water, medical aid, tents and clothing. That's 500 lorries a day minimum. And if they're not supplying 500 lorries a day minimum, you know it's not getting better, it's getting worse. Demand the release of all hostages and Palestinian prisoners. Over 7,000 Palestinians have been arrested or are in detention since October the 7th. 7,000. Detention without trial. Demand Israel pays war reparations for all homes demolished, every death, every injury, every institution, every business destroyed. Demand support for the South African submission to the ICJ, charging Israel with genocide. It's blindingly obvious that genocide is occurring. Institute war crimes investigations against Israeli military and political leaders. Bring criminal charges against UK companies supplying Israel with weapons and military equipment. Investigate UK citizens, including the chaplain to Leeds University, who have served or are serving in the Israeli military. They're British citizens. They are serving in Gaza. They should be investigated for complicity in war crimes. We did it to British citizens who went to Syria. We should apply the same to Israel. We should recognize Palestine on the pre-67 borders as an independent, sovereign, contiguous Palestinian state. And if Israel continues to refuse to comply with UN resolutions, and you know that the right of return was one of the conditions attached to the recognition of Israel as a state in 1948. They've failed to recognize that and comply with that UN requirement. Join the BDS movement. BDS is the best way, the non-violent way we can constructively play an active role in the liberation of Palestine from settler colonial apartheid. It worked in South Africa. It can work in Palestine. It is working slowly. I was involved in the campaign against Caterpillar in the UK, and we got the Church of England to divest its shares in Caterpillar. It was a minor triumph, but we've campaigned against Veolia, against G4S, who have until recently run the prisons in which Palestinian children are held illegally in Israel. And finally, joined Southampton PSC. And let me close with a quote from Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And to my shame, the Church of England is complicit in the genocide. It's refused, bishops repeatedly have refused to call for an immediate ceasefire. They've refused to condemn Israel for its genocide. They're complicit. This is what Desmond Tutu said. And remember, the liberation of South Africa from apartheid, the British government branded those leaders as terrorists. This is what Desmond Tutu said. The end of apartheid stands as one of the crowning achievements of the last century, but we, South Africans, would not have succeeded without the help of international pressure. If apartheid ended, so can the occupation. But the moral force and international pressure will have to be just as determined. The current divestment effort is the first, but certainly not the only necessary means in that direction. We have work to do. Thank you.